How's it? Today is July 12th. It's Monday, and I'm at Warcat Fitness? Warcat something. Warcat to do some training. I wanted to check this gym out actually a couple weeks ago, but I ended up selecting to go to 24 Hour Fitness because I knew exactly what to expect at 24, and 24 is also a lot cheaper. But um, me and G1 decided to stop in today. Met the homie Larry. He's right over there, Larry Legend, or formerly known as Larry Training Wheels. Um, yeah, and I think I might actually end up lifting here on the weekends, just maybe Fridays. I think it's worth it just to ensure that I have a solid Friday session. We'll see. But today's workout was just some hang snatches and a bunch of other snatch related accessories. So, work up to a bunch of doubles at 91. So I talked with Steve this morning, and he said to basically just try to make sure that my lifts are better at this weight, because last week I did have two misses, and some of the lifts, even the makes, were not very great as far as leg extension goes. Ended up throwing my hips quite a bit. It still happened today, just not as much as it did last week for sure. That is very true. So I am very excited about prospect of lifting here, just because I can actually video here, and nobody's ever going to say anything about it. And I think that that in itself is a valuable training tool. I'm pretty happy with that. And so, yeah, there is only one platform here, which I think is fine for two people, but I think for three people it becomes a little bit of a waiting game, and there's not a lot you can do when three people are sharing a platform. They have illegal bars, or one illegal bar and then illegal plates that I've never actually used before, which is crazy to think about, that I've never used illegal plates. This is actually the first time I got a chance to touch them. And they do feel a little bit different than the Rogue plates. I also do think they're way more expensive than the Rogue plates are. But it's interesting because I've never been able to use them. I think I like them a lot more than the Rogue plates. Maybe in the future, in 10 years, maybe I'll have a gym equipped with illegal stuff. Who knows? Here's my second to last warm up. Um, One thing that I think has affected me today was the platform. I don't think it's super level. I think it's just a slightly graded, so a little bit lower on my heels, so a little bit lower to my back here. Uh, I don't know if it really affected the way I lifted. I think it made some lifts a little bit easier than they should have been. You can see here I'm trying to actually make my arms straight. I can see myself in the mirror, in the far mirror, that I'm not super even there, and it's something that I've been working on lately. But moreover, on the clean or snatch technique here, I threw my hips there, and you can see exactly what the issue becomes when I do that. The bar ends up flying, and I don't like that. So I ended up actually wanting to retake a few of these, even though I didn't miss any. So this year was probably the best set that it did. This is the one I think that I sent to Steve. This is my third set, and it's pretty simple. Like, this is relatively lightweight for what I'm aiming to do. It's not super light versus relative to what I've been doing. This is basically sort of top end range of intensity, but like the way I'm handling it indicates that I can do a lot more than what's on the bar. And so you can see here that it says fourth of three sets, because I ended up doing a bunch of extra sets just because the quality of the reps was not there. And so Jiwon mentioned it. He was like, if you're at a rehearsal for like a music performance, do you rerun the whole thing if you executed poorly? If you played your instrument poorly, do you rerun the whole thing? And the answer is yes. And so that's kind of the whole idea behind all of this, is me sort of pushing towards perfection. You know, there are a lot of mistakes that I could have fixed on individual reps, so I kept trying, and you know, I didn't miss any on those extra sets, so I'm pretty happy with that overall. I worked up to a heavy clean or snatch deadlift triple. Steve was mentioning to this week to just keep the snatch weight the same, push the deadlift, and then actually back off on the overhead squat. So that's what I did. I snatch deadlifted 135. This is definitely the most I've ever snatch deadlifted before. So technically a PR, just like I said last week. But yeah, I don't really count those. You can see here that I do struggle from pulling from the ground here. My hips do shoot out a little bit, but this is a fun exercise in itself. That's sarcasm, by the way. That's my final rep, and then I moved into those snatch, push, press plus overhead squat. I wasn't sure what weight to do. He just said to back off. So last week I did 120. So this week I did 110. 115 could have been backing off. 119 could have been backing off. But I decided to just do 110. And I'm glad I only shot for 110. It was pretty hard. I don't have problems with the push press or the squat ascent. I have problems with the descent for the squat. And you'll see me move around, move a lot laterally. I was on the verge of dropping the weight, and I was able to stabilize it overhead. So I'm pretty happy with the final outcome. Just not the way I liked to have executed here. Again, yeah, push press super easy. You see me kind of fiddling around for positioning. Yeah, and pushing also very easy. Yeah, that was a heavy set. And then I did some weighted pull-ups here. I have a kettlebell between my legs. I think it's like 16 kilos or 17 kilos or something like that. So about 35 pounds. And then just some hanging leg raises. Overall, I think this gym is sick. So I will probably, hopefully, maybe come into the gym in the future. But yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Shoots!